Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "You become what you think about all day long." This profound statement captures the essence of how our thoughts shape our reality. Think about it. Your thoughts influence your emotions drive your behaviors, and your behaviors create your experiences. In other words, your thoughts can literally become things. In today's video, we are going to explore the transformative power of cognitive restructuring, a technique from cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. This technique helps you identify and change negative thought patterns, turning them into more positive and realistic ones. We will dive into what cognitive restructuring is, how it works, and practical steps to implement it in your daily life so you can start changing your thoughts and in turn change your life. In our previous videos, we discussed the fundamentals of CBT and its role in managing thoughts and emotions. If you haven't seen that video yet, make sure to check it out for a comprehensive overview. Today, we will focus on cognitive restructuring, a powerful method to rewire your thinking and create a more positive mindset, effectively turning your thoughts into constructive, empowering forces. Let's start by understanding what cognitive restructuring is and why it's such a powerful tool for transforming your thoughts. Cognitive restructuring is a technique used in cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, that helps you identify and change negative thought patterns. In simple terms, it's about taking a closer look at your automatic thoughts, the ones that pop into your head without much notice, and challenging them. By doing this, you can replace them with more balanced and realistic thoughts that better reflect reality. The core idea of cognitive restructuring is to recognize that not all thoughts are accurate or helpful. Often, our minds generate negative or distorted thoughts that can lead to feelings of anxiety, depression, or low self-esteem. Cognitive restructuring works by helping you question these negative thoughts and reframe them into something more constructive. For example, if you find yourself thinking, "I will never be good enough," cognitive restructuring encourages you to challenge this thought by asking, "What evidence do I have that this is true, and what are some examples of my achievements?" This process helps you develop a more positive and realistic perspective. This technique is crucial for mental well-being because our thoughts directly influence our emotions and behaviors. Negative thoughts can trap us in a cycle of negative emotions and unproductive actions, making us feel stuck and overwhelmed. By learning to restructure these thoughts, you can break this cycle, improve your mood, and make better decisions. Cognitive restructuring empowers you to take control of your mental landscape, turning negative thinking into a tool for personal growth and resilience. Now that we understand what cognitive restructuring is, let's explore some common negative thought patterns and how they might appear in your life. Catastrophizing is a pattern where you expect the worst possible outcome in any situation, which can cause a lot of unnecessary stress and anxiety. For instance, imagine you are preparing for a presentation at work. If you catch yourself thinking, "If I make one mistake, everyone will think I'm incompetent and I might even lose my job," you are catastrophizing. This thought blows a small potential error out of proportion, turning it into a disaster in your mind. Overgeneralization happens when you take a single event and apply it broadly, often leading to feelings of hopelessness. Let's say you've just received a rejection letter for a job you applied for. If your immediate thought is, "I'm never going to get hired anywhere," you are overgeneralizing. You are allowing one rejection to overshadow your prospects and assuming that all future attempts will end the same way. Black and white thinking, also known all or nothing thinking, involves viewing situations in extremes without recognizing any middle ground. Consider a situation where you are trying out a new exercise routine but miss a few days. If you find yourself thinking, "If I can't stick to it perfectly, I'm a total failure and should just give up," you are falling into black and white thinking. This mindset doesn't account for the possibility of starting again or making gradual improvement. Filtering is when you focus solely in the negative aspects of a situation and ignore the positives. This can distort your perception and lead to an overly negative view of events. Imagine you get a performance review at work that's mostly positive, but it includes one suggestion for improvement. If you think my boss isn't happy with my work, you are filtering. You are disregarding all the positive feedback and zeroing in on the single critic. Personalization involves blaming yourself for things that are beyond your control, often leading to unnecessary guilt. Picture this: a friend seems distant during a conversation. If you think I must have done something to upset them, you are personalizing. You are assuming responsibility for their behavior without considering that they might have other issues on their mind unrelated to you. Should statements are rigid rules of expectations you set for yourself, which can lead to frustration when they aren't met. Imagine you are feeling exhausted after a long day, but you think, I should be able to handle this without feeling tired. This thought ignores your natural need for rest and sets unrealistic standards, making you feel inadequate for not living up to it. Recognizing these negative thought patterns in yourself is crucial for using cognitive restructuring effectively. Start by paying attention to your automatic thoughts, especially in moments of strong emotional reactions. Ask yourself, what am I thinking right now? And is this thought helping me or hurting me? Consider keeping a thought journal to jot down instances when these patterns appear. Reflect on how they affect your mood and behavior. Over time, this practice will help you become more aware of your thinking habits and provide a foundation for challenging and changing them. Now that you can recognize negative thought patterns, let's explore some practical techniques for cognitive restructuring to help you change these patterns into more positive and realistic ones. The first step in cognitive restructuring is to challenge your negative thoughts. This involves questioning their validity and disputing their basis. When you catch yourself thinking negatively, ask, is this thought really true? For instance, if you are thinking, I always mess up things, challenge this by asking, what is the evidence that I always mess things up? And can I think of times when I've succeeded? By questioning your negative thoughts, you can start to break them down and see them from a more objective perspective. This process helps you realize that your thoughts are often exaggerated or inaccurate, leading you to a more balanced view. Once you've challenged a negative thought, the next step is to reframe it into something more positive or neutral. Reframing is about changing your perspective on a situation or thought to reduce its negative impact. For example, if you are thinking, I'm terrible at my job, reframe it to, I'm facing challenges at work, but I am learning and improving with each experience. This doesn't mean ignoring reality, but finding a more constructive way to view your situation. Reframing helps you move from a negative mindset to a more hopeful and productive one, opening the door to positive action. Another key technique is evidence gathering, which involves looking for facts that support or refute your thoughts. Imagine you are feeling anxious about an upcoming exam and thinking, I'm going to fail. Start by gathering evidence. Ask yourself, what's the evidence that I will fail? Consider your past performance, preparation, and understanding of the material. You might find evidence like, I've passed similar exams before, or I've studied thoroughly. This factual evidence can help you counteract your negative thoughts and build a more realistic perspective. It's about grounding your thoughts in reality rather than letting them be driven by unfounded fears. Considering alternative perspectives is another effective technique in cognitive restructuring. It involves looking at your situation from different angles to balance your thinking. Suppose you've had a disagreement with a friend and think they must hate me now. Try to see the situation from another perspective. Ask yourself, could there be other reasons for their reaction, or how might they be feeling? This approach helps you see beyond your initial emotional reaction and understand that there could be other explanations or solutions. By considering alternative viewpoints, you can develop a more nuanced understanding and reduce the emotional intensity of the situation. These techniques, challenging negative thoughts, reframing, evidence gathering, and considering alternative perspectives, are powerful tools in cognitive restructuring. They help you move from automatic negative thinking to a more balanced and constructive mindset, improving your emotional well-being and decision-making. With an understanding of cognitive restructuring techniques, let's talk about how you can put these into practice in your daily life. It's one thing to understand these concepts, but real transformation happens when you apply them consistently. Incorporating cognitive restructuring into your daily routine doesn't have to be complicated. Start by becoming more mindful of your thoughts, especially in situations where you feel strong emotions like stress, anxiety, or frustration. Throughout your day, take brief pauses to reflect on what you are thinking. When you notice a negative thought, use the techniques we discussed earlier to challenge and reframe it. For example, if you catch yourself thinking, "I'm never going to finish this project," stop and question that thought. Ask yourself, what steps can I take to make progress right now? This practice helps you catch negative thoughts in the moment and turn them into opportunities for positive action. Keeping a thought journal is a powerful tool for tracking and challenging negative thoughts over time. Each day, spend a few minutes writing down any negative thoughts you've had. Include details about the situation, your initial thoughts, the emotions you felt, and how you responded. Then, use cognitive restructuring techniques to challenge and reframe these thoughts. For instance, if you wrote, "I'm terrible at public speaking," challenge this by listing evidence of times you've spoken well or received positive feedback. Reframe it to something more balanced. "I've had some challenges with public speaking, but I've also had successes and I can prove with practice." Reviewing your journal regularly can help you identify patterns and track your progress in shifting your mindset. Let's walk through a step-by-step example to see how cognitive restructuring works in practice. Imagine you are feeling anxious about an upcoming job interview and you have the thought, "I'm going to mess up and embarrass myself." Here is how you might apply cognitive restructuring. Number 1, identify the negative thought. Notice the thought, "I'm going to mess up and embarrass myself." Number 2, challenge the thought. Ask yourself, "Is this thought really true? What evidence do I have that I will mess up?" Consider your past experiences and preparation. You might find evidence like, "I've successfully completed interviews before," or "I've prepared thoroughly for this one." Number 3, reframe the thought. Turn the negative thought into a more balanced one, such as, "I might feel nervous, but I'm prepared and have succeeded in interviews before. I can handle this." Number 4, gather evidence. Look for factual support. Reflect on times when you performed well in stressful situations or received positive feedback on your interview skills. Number 5, consider alternative perspectives. Think about how a friend might view your situation. They might say, "Everyone feels nervous before interviews, but you've got great qualifications and have done well in the past." By following these steps, you move from a place of anxiety to a more balanced perspective, helping you approach the interview with greater confidence and less fear. Applying cognitive restructuring in your daily life, whether through mindful practice or keeping a thought journal, can significantly enhance your ability to manage negative thoughts. It's about making these techniques a regular part of your mental toolkit, so you can continuously reshape your thinking and improve your emotional well-being. Now that we've gone through the practical steps of cognitive restructuring, let's talk about the benefits. Understanding these can motivate you to make cognitive restructuring a regular part of your life. Imagine the weight of constant negativity lifting from your shoulders. That's one of the most immediate benefits of cognitive restructuring. It can significantly improve your emotional well-being. When you learn to challenge and reframe negative thoughts, you start to feel more in control of your emotions. Instead of being overwhelmed by anxiety, sadness, or anger, you begin to see these feelings for what they are, responses to thoughts that you can change. By turning "I will never get through this" into "I have faced challenges before and came out stronger," you shift from a state of despair to one of hope and confidence. This positive shift in thinking helps you feel calmer, more balanced, and resilient in the face of stress. Changing your thoughts doesn't just impact how you feel, it also influences how you act. Think about it. When your thoughts are more positive and realistic, your actions tend to follow suit. For example, if you reframe a thought like "I'm not good enough to apply for this job" to "I have the skills and experience needed for this position," you are more likely to take action and apply. This new way of thinking encourages you to take on challenges, try new things, and make decisions that align with your true potential. Over time, this leads to more proactive and positive behaviors such as setting goals, seeking opportunities, and building healthier relationships. Essentially, cognitive restructuring helps you step out of your comfort zone and engage more fully with life. In the long run, cognitive restructuring contributes significantly to your overall mental health. It's like training your brain to think more clearly and positively, which has profound effects in your mental well-being. Regularly practicing cognitive restructuring can reduce symptoms of anxiety, depression, and other mental health issues by breaking the cycle of negative thinking that often drives these conditions. By cultivating a habit of challenging and helpful thoughts and replacing them with constructive ones, you build a more resilient mindset. This resilience helps you cope better with life's ups and downs, making you less vulnerable to stress and more capable of bouncing back from setbacks. Cognitive restructuring empowers you to take control of your mental landscape, fostering long-term emotional stability and a greater sense of well-being. These benefits, improved emotional well-being, positive behavioral changes, and enhanced overall mental health, illustrates why cognitive restructuring is such a valuable tool. By regularly applying these techniques, you can transform not just your thoughts, but your entire approach to life, paving the way for a more fulfilling and mentally healthy future. Everything is a choice away. We have the power to choose how we think, act, feel, and believe, either negatively or positively. This power is incredible, and it's all about starting to practice it until we master it. We choose our perspective, our perception, the meaning we give to events, and ultimately the results and outcomes in our lives. So what are you going to choose from now on? Remember, neither the past nor the future are real. They only hold the meanings we've chosen to give them. Now is the best moment to choose a different, more empowering meaning. In this video, we've explored cognitive restructuring, a key technique from cognitive behavioral therapy. We defined cognitive restructuring, discussed how to identify negative thought patterns, and worked through practical techniques to challenge and reframe them. We also covered how to apply these strategies in your daily life and highlighted the benefits for your emotional well-being, behavior, and overall mental health. In our next video, we will dive into behavioral activation, boosting your mood through activity. You will learn how engaging in rewarding activities can lift your mood, combat depression, and enhance your overall mental health. I will provide practical steps and insights to help you integrate these powerful techniques into your life. And I would love to hear from you. How have you been applying cognitive restructuring in your life? What changes have you noticed? Share your experiences or questions in the comments below. Your feedback is incredibly valuable and helps me create content that truly resonates with you. Don't forget to check the description for links to resources and related videos, especially if you haven't seen our previous videos on emotional intelligence and managing emotional triggers. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with others who might benefit from this knowledge. Your support helps me create more content tailored to your needs. Make sure to subscribe to Case Calm Kit and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. We've got more insightful content on CBT, emotional intelligence, and personal growth coming your way. Thank you for watching and being part of our community. Stay curious, stay reflective, and keep exploring the depths of your emotional world. See you in the next video. Much love.